Welcome back YouTube to another video. Today is heavy bench day. That is the 4th day of the week. I missed out yesterday because, well, I did miss it. I still went to the gym, but I didn't feel like recording because I was ill. Today I am a little bit less ill, and I am ill because I have an infection. Now, I haven't had an infection for about 20 years. I'm not too sure why I have one now. Very random indeed, but this is also the first time I've taken antibiotics in 20 years as well. So I've got the effects of the infection chipping away in the background, and the effects of, excuse me, that is rude, the effects of the antibiotics also chipping away in the background. I feel slightly lightheaded, slightly dizzy and nauseous, but that is to be expected. I've just been chugging down heap loads of water. However, even though I've been doing that, the humidity that we are experiencing in the UK right now isn't really helping, because we've had just over 30 degree, high 20 degree Celsius heat, and the humidity is very high. The heat here is humid, it's not dry. You wake up and you're sweating to death. You don't know whether you've got something wrong with you or it's just the typical British summer heat. In this case, it is actually both. Regardless, 140 kilograms is loaded up on the barbell. I just did one set to see how I felt. I've got 2 more sets, and I've got 8 minutes between each set. Again, if you haven't watched last week's, last month's, last year's, if you haven't watched the video before this one, I basically revealed that I am working alongside the Australian stumbling, fumbling, usual Ryan Price lifts fashion. I'm working alongside the Australian strength coach, aka Sebastian Orby. I think that's how you pronounce his name. And it's not aka Sebastian Orby because that is who he is. It's aka the Australian strength coach. But why do I need to... What's the point in correcting myself? What do I achieve from correcting myself, apart from wasting time and giving myself a headache? And probably you a headache as well. In fact, I'm fairly certain it's not just a headache that I give myself and you. It rapidly progresses to a migraine. Yeah, let's just bash this out. We're doing 3 sets of 3 repetitions. Sebastian has also adjusted the way that I bench press. I'm still getting used to it. I do feel weaker in this position, but I've just got to trust the process, because Sebastian believes that if I trust the process, I shall get stronger, even stronger than I was before. Before, I was gripping kind of in the middle of where the knurling starts and the first ring. Now, my pinky goes next to the first ring. I also have a wide grip bench press session, which you would have seen if you watched my last video, where my index finger actually goes on the pinky, and that is to reinforce the competition style bench press by putting a bit more emphasis on the chest and the shoulders. So it strengthens the chest and the shoulders. It gets me used to using a wider grip, so overall it reinforces that adjustment, that position, or the positions I am going to be in. Because if you think about it, it's not just one position, it is multiple positions. The way that I lie on the bench to the way that I grip the bar, it is multiple positions. But overall, just, again, headache to migraine. Excuse me, I just farted, but we shall keep that between me and you. Because it is a rather hot and humid day, I've been sweating a lot, so I'm using the, what's it called again? My Protein Pro High Rocks, the Electro orange flavour, to restore some electrolytes. I take 2 scoops of this, and it is very zesty indeed. I like the way it tastes. If you're interested in purchasing some high quality electrolytes, head on over to My Protein and use code RyanPrice to support me as a content creator and snag yourself a little discount. You get 10% off. The same applies to Gymshark clothing. Got the GSLR clothing on. GSLR, Gymshark Lifting Club. GSLC clothing. It is shaker maker time. Practice makes perfect. In fact, I haven't got the right stroke going on. It's more of a martini kind of stroke. If I do it like that, it doesn't tend to mix very well. But if I do it like this, it mixes exceptionally well. Orangey, to be expected. I'm also whipping out the Odyssey bench mat because this bench is a little, we'll go with that, a little on the slippy side. Again, you can use code RyanPrice to support me as a content creator and snag yourself a cheeky discount. They're quite cheap anyway. I think they're about £8. But yes, just gonna wait. I'm not too sure what I'm gonna do whilst I wait. Resist the urge to scroll on Instagram and TikTok or even YouTube. I feel like YouTube should have stayed a long format platform. YouTube Shorts are a bit of a curse to it. I've never really been a fan of the short format. The only reason I do it is because that's what people watch. So it is a way of me being able to reach people, but I do wish that long format stayed a lot more relevant than short. Am I even saying this wrong? I wish that long form content, you know what, I've had enough. So yeah, Sebastian, just give this a chance. Compare these two ways of benching. Again, I'm going to keep the same position on the bench, but the position of where my hands are on the barbell is going to be different. And by different, I mean my regular grip width that I used to use before using this new one that you've applied to my bench press. Okay. I mean, to be honest, there wasn't much of a difference. Okay, so now we are doing low incline dumbbell bench presses. I've worked up to 46 kilos. What is wrong with me? Nothing sounds right in my head. I have worked up to the 46 kilogram dumbbells instead of just 46 kilogram, because technically you could say, well, that's 23 kilogram aside. Overcomplicating a very simple matter for absolutely no reason. Speaks for itself, really. Diseased in the mind. The thoughts are diseased. 3 sets of 8 repetitions with 3 to 4 minutes rest between each set. I feel like I need that extra minute, so I could do 3 minutes, but I'm taking 4 minutes. I don't feel well, to be quite frank. Everything feels very off today. I feel rather weak. I don't feel right. Again, that's probably the combination of having an infection and taking antibiotics. Regardless, the show must go on. I want to crack on with this workout and get it done so I can go home and have some dinner. And unlike Bevo, I'm going to swallow my food by chewing it, not swallowing it whole. That is a health and safety hazard. You know what, I think I want something a bit more relaxing on. I'm currently listening to Prodigy, Riders on the Storm by The Doors. What a classic. A Need for Speed classic, that is. Sort my hair out quick. God knows why I need to do that. I've actually made it worse. Alright. Okay, I've got one more set of that. And then I'm moving on to, let us have a look. One arm dumbbell row. God, I haven't done those since I was a teenager. I'm just going to blast through this workout because I didn't realise that the battery percentage is 14%. Very low indeed, and where I'm filming, excuse me, and where I am filming on at 4K, 60 FPS, no it's not 60 FPS, it's 24 FPS. I need a body that allows me to film in 4K at least 60 FPS, but I can imagine that's quite expensive. Regardless, we're doing single arm rows, never been a fan of these. I might even try it and convince Sebastian to swap these out for something else. I just don't like them. I don't like the way that they feel. I don't really feel them engaging in the way that I want them to engage. But again, just trusting the process. You're going to hear me say that a lot. I am putting a lot of trust in this program. I'm worried that it might impact my performance because I'm used to benching 3 or 4 times a week. But Sebastian has coached people like Hathor Bjornsson. I really don't like this exercise. Good Lord. I sound like I was about to cry then. I don't like it. I don't want it in my program. Take it out, Sebastian. Take it out. Oh, that sounds a bit odd. I'm using a lightweight because if he insists on continuing the one arm dumbbell row, 6% boys and girls, time continues to tick-tock on and the world continues to spin. The universe continues to exist and so do we. So the more I natter, the less you'll see. What does that have to do with anything? I think I've become delusional from the infection and the antibiotic combination. Dumbbell incline flies, 3 sets of 12 reps. Hey Siri, play music. Moving on to incline dumbbell rear delt raises, flies. They're flies, they're not raises because I'm coming out with them. I'm not coming out with them. Just giving myself a headache. Okay. Same as the dumbbell incline flies. It's a fly, not a raise, not a push, not a pull, not a squat, but a fly, and this is a fly. Lots of flies, 3 sets of 12. Yeah, 3 sets of 12. I'm so drained. I'm so drained. I do not feel good. A little bit concerning. Hopefully we pull through this infection and don't meet our maker. But if we do, so be it. This is probably the first assistance exercise I've actually pushed today, and what an odd one to push. I don't think it was intentional, but this is a good weight. I'm writing all of these weight freight. Oh, fucking hell, I give up. Next exercise. So the camera is running on literally 0%. I'm not too sure how the battery on that camera has defied the laws of physics or energy consumption or whatever the hell it is, but it has. What I was trying to say is that there's no mirror in front of me. Great, so how am I supposed to... Whatever. What I was supposed to say, the last clip, was that I'm writing all of this down on a nice little piece of paper within my nice notepad. That's it. Anyway, external rotation. This is, I'm not too sure what the hell I'm doing. I tried looking it up, and all I could find was that we're doing something like this. Maybe? I don't know. That's what it looks like, though. Hopefully I'm doing this right. If it is this, my assumption is it's for shoulder health. Anyway, that is going to be it for today. I do apologise that it is a rather short video compared to my usual ordeal. The next session will be a lot longer. I will bring my power pack so I can charge my camera when it gets low. But hopefully by Monday I'm feeling a lot better. But right now I just feel drained, feel lethargic, I feel tired. I don't feel well at all. Obviously it's due to this infection. I've mentioned it. I'm milking the life out of this. I've grabbed this infection by the teat and I'm milking the life out of it. But yeah, now I'm going to go on. I'm going to slop down some fish and sweet potato. I don't know, something in my either. And then call it a day, go to bed early. I need an early night, I think. And then hopefully wake up early as well, because I want to get into a routine. Anyway, that is a wrap.